Hello ancient miniature people. This is an unboxing or an unbagging of the Warriors of Carthage set by Victrix Miniatures. Now if you've seen some of my videos before, you'll know I'm a bit of a fan of Carthage, and I've actually had this kit before but I never got around to doing a review of it, so I thought it's about time. I might have to get it again because I love this ancient civilization. They're really my favourite, I think, of all the ancient ones. Such an interesting mixture and history and colourful figures, a mixture of the sort of Middle Eastern and the North African, just hard to beat, I reckon. So, and it's a brilliant kit. It's got how many figures? 56 or something, or maybe it's 62. I'm sure it says it on there, I can't see it though. Anyway, there's a lot and they're very good value for money. Let's have a look through. So there's two different sprues. You get two of the sort of command sprues. So they have designed to have two commanders, beautiful armor. This guy's got the scale armor, this one with the fantastic cuirass, and then a musician with just the linen. But you can mix them around a bit, and I think I'll do that and just see what else I can create out of these guys. A number of nice helmets, different lots of different styles of helmet there, a couple of aspices, beautiful couple of beautiful standards available there. So it is the same command sprue as in the Citizens of Carthage set. That's the one slight detraction, but because of the fact you can have so many different heads and you can even use them as Libyan commanders and so on, I don't see that as a big deal. And then you get all these warrior sprues. Let's have a look how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 8 to 56. And then there's another 6. So yeah, it is 62 guys in the whole set. Now this gets a bit interesting because you have 3 guys in the Utica Hamata, or the chainmail. They're supposed to be the Hannibal's veterans. So obviously when he crossed the Alps, encountered a whole lot of Gauls, and some they traded with, some they fought with, end up getting chainmail off them. And similarly, once they got into northern Italy and ran riot and destroyed the Roman armies at Trebia and Lake Trasimene and then Cannae, they looted them, end up with a whole lot more chainmail and also some scutums. So they're supposed to be those guys. One slight criticism with the kit is all those guys are in attacking poses versus the Libyan Phoenicians here, and then the Linothorax, who are all in a more resting, posing kind of position. So it would have been nice to have at least one of these is a more aggressive attacking position, and maybe one of these guys in a more passive position. But anyway, that's a minor issue. You also get a couple of these guys, Libyan spearmen, and again in very active attacking, charging forward kind of motion. So what about helmets? You've got quite a lot of fantastic options here. Lots of beautiful Punic ones. And then you've got some really cool Libyan ones here too. So you've got the guy with the mohawk, the big hair on one side of the head, sort of big forehead with the hair back, and a more normal head, although no, he's shaved at the back. So they're all quite unique, interesting hairstyles for the Libyan guys as well. And you've got a couple of little shields for them. So it is a brilliant kit, as I've had it before, and I felt the need to get it again because I think it's actually my favourite kit of all the ancient Victrix things. That new Greek hoplites one will be a close second, and in fact that can integrate quite well, and I'm going to use a bit of that, some of those components to kit bash these guys. So if you want more active, like Libyan Phoenicians, so you can definitely use some of those ones from the Greek hoplite set for that. For these guys, the more passive ones, I've actually ordered some Aventine veterans who are also in the Utica Hamata, who are just sort of standing there, so they'll complement them quite nicely. other thing I've got, which I haven't had, I did have, I think, long ago, but anyway, usually haven't used, is the shield transfers from Little Big Man. So I've got quite a good range here. They're relatively expensive, but they are a bit fiddly to cut out and stick around. That's why I've tended to avoid them, but they just look so cool. Wouldn't go past them this time. So the ones for the Carthaginians are here. So we got here. That's and then I've got a few. Oh, there's pure Carthaginian as well. I'm looking forward to whacking a few of them on. And then I've got some for the. They would have had some mercenary italic types, so that'll go nicely from them. Oh, there's another Carthaginian one, and I've taken the Aspis ones off already. Another set of italic allies, and they'll be for some of the Roman velites they come up against. So quite a nice little selection of shield transfers there. So I shall get to work soon, put them together, give you a lookie, see what you think. Catch you soon. Righto, and I've completed enough Carthaginians to give you a good look at them and give you my impressions of this wonderful kit. So these are some of the Libby Phoenician guys. As I said, they're a little bit static. That's the only detraction from them, but they are fabulous. And I've used a mixture of the Little Big Man Studio transfers, like this one, and then some other ones. That's from Vidi Vicky, and that is from those fingernail ones done on eBay, available in Australia at least. I love painting these guys. I did a few different heads, so that's obviously a Libyan head out of the same kit. And that might actually be a Numidian head, I think, just to mix it up a little bit out of the Victrix Numidians. So that's the first bunch of fellas. Anything special? I don't think there's anything special about the paint job here I did. Well, I have started to do this method of washing them all once I've sort of blocked in the colours, mixing 50-50 with Army Painter Strong Tone and some acrylic mixing medium, and just washing it over the whole lot. Seems to give a nice little bit of contrast. Pretty simple way to do it. Alright, off with them. Who's next? Let's get some hard decision, but I'm going to go with this. Some veterans. I've done all of these a little bit differently in that I have given them heads from the Aventine metal head set, which is superb. If you get a chance to pick them up sometime, do, because they just give you so many options of interesting variety on your figures. And I love that. These Carthaginian shields, particularly the red, they just give a beautiful sort of contrast to the figure, I think. That's an Agema shield. You'll see it's a bit bigger, but I've used that Little Big Man one design for Victrix, just trimmed it up and painted around the edges. Black one's good. That's really good too, I reckon, that blue one. So, as mentioned, these guys are much more attacking poses, although I did see, like this guy, if you position his wrist so the comes with the arm, but then the wrist and spear attached differently, so you can put it in a fairly attacking pose like this, or you can have it in a bit more of a static pose, so it does give you some options to have a few of those guys in less aggressive positions. But I think they've turned out beautifully. Not that the Victrix helmets of a similar type were not great, but I just wanted to try out these Aventine ones. Aventine ones do have a protrusion at the base of the neck, so you've got to drill a bit of a hole into the neck piece of the plastic guy to get them to fit in snugly, but not difficult really. A decent sized drill. It's a power drill actually. Now who's next? Let's go for the next batch of Carthaginians, although in fact these guys are from Utica, so the city just to the north of Carthage, and in fact that predated Carthage, so it's the first Punic Phoenician settlement on the North African coast, and came under Carthage's hegemony after they became a bit of a superpower. Fought with them in the First and the Second Punic Wars, but by the time the Third Punic War came around, they seemed to have seen the writing on the wall and decided to jump ship and join the Romans. against their brethren. So they actually survived a bit more intact and were given some more leniency and independence by the Romans thereafter. Done them in a different colour scheme, zero historical references to support this, but I just thought it'd be nice to set them apart a bit from the standard sort of whites and creams and so on of the that I've done most of the Carthaginians in, and I think they look great. I really like that green and red and white colour scheme. Few different ones, and again you've got the fairly passive ones with the linothorax, but this guy is from the Greek set from Victrix, so he's a bit more active. And then I did kit bash a few others. In fact, he's out of the command set. He's the guy who was intended to be the trumpeter, just to show that you don't have to have two trumpeters, you can change him around a bit. And then this bloke is from the late Roman set by War Games Atlantic, but I've changed his head, and I think I used, might have been Agima arms actually for him, so he's come up kit bashed in the Lorica Hamata quite well, I'd say. He also has Agima head, so it just, and him, just shows how interchangeable most of these kits are. I love these guys. I might have to do some more Utican Punics. Now, next set is from the African components of this Warriors of Carthage set. So first up, let me put the commander up because I think he's an absolute winner. He's a Libyan commander, made from the command set, and obviously just put a Libyan head on instead of the usual Carthaginian ones, and painted him with the sort of giraffe skin cloak there. And he is the commander of the Libyan contingent, which are the Adir Mukaday tribe, who were renowned as having a mohawk hairstyle, so here they come. So most of them I've done with the mohawks, a couple of them a bit of variety, and also renowned for a couple other features, having lots of tattoos. I've done a few on sides and scalps and so on, and also described as having a greave on their left leg, which not clear whether they had that tradition already or whether they kind of copied that off the Romans as they defeated them through northern Italy, and probably pinched the greaves off the dead Romans to use in a similar style. But I'm happy how they've turned out. They're said to be mostly sort of reds and oranges in the historical records that they wore, and did have little buckler style shields, so I've painted them accordingly. Some of them I've just done a little bit of kit bashing to add a bit more like green stuff to that guy's hair at the back, just again for a little bit more variation. So that's one sort of little issue with this kit, that you are forced to get not only the sort of Hannibal, the Carthaginians in the linothorax and those in the chainmail, but also all these Africans. So I think it's great because I wanted all them, and I'm going to do a whole other set of Africans as sort of non-Libyans. But yeah, interesting that they decided to put them all in the one kit rather than just having the straight Punics. Brilliant kit. As I said, I've bought it a couple of times now, and I'm happy to have more. So there you go. Hope you like this. Find it interesting, even though it's quite a late review of this set. But you know, they're such nice guys. They don't age, and they haven't sort of been surpassed by many others. V&V, as I say, do some fabulous Carthaginians, but these are brilliant, and particularly if you can mix and match them a bit. So with those the Greek hoplites and with the Aventine heads and Agima kit go well together. Alright, enough babbling. I'll be back soon with more.